So do you want to get into TV broadcasting someday?
Yeah, that's the goal.
Was that your reel that you put out there about a month ago when you guys were doing the ice baths and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
How much fun was that?
Oh, I enjoyed it, every second of it. Jeremy and Matt Fetter came up with the idea and approached me with it, and I was just like, it's cool. It lets people see the insights of us during camp, and it was something I would really like to do. So at the end of the day, I think it was good for all of us.
Did you talk to somebody about, hey, I need to be the guy that does this because this is what I want to do someday, or how did that come about?
I've talked to a bunch of people here, and they've seen that this is something I've always wanted to do. I post clips about me broadcasting and stuff all the time, so it was just something that seemed really fitting for me, and I was really blessed and fortunate to be able to have the opportunity to do it. So.
You in the J school?
Yes. Yes.
What do you do? Do you do any writing for the DTH or anything like that?
Nah.
What do you do?
I don't have a long time.
You want to be more microphone? Or?
Yeah, we have a microphone, but that's all outside of football. So.
I was going to hunt for a byline.
Special TH out.
Those first couple of games, obviously without Tez, mostly without Nate, the ball kind of spurred around a lot. You got a lot more attention in those games as well. Just kind of what did you think about the way that the ball was able to move, despite maybe not having those two there?
One thing Drake does very well is spreading the ball out even to all the receivers, tight ends, running backs. So he always does his job, and I feel like, especially in the receiver room, we have so many weapons from top to bottom. So at the end of the day, we just get the ball to your playmakers, and he was doing his job.
And then with Nate and Tez, obviously joining the team, what are some of the things you kind of, learned from them? Obviously, you've been around on this team longer than they have, but what are some of the things that when you watch them play that you kind of, taken and brought into your game?
From Tez?
From Tez and Nate.
Tez and Nate. With both of them, they bring a sense of leadership, and they're both veterans. They've played this game for a long time. And, with Tez, it's just his speed, his work ethic is something that everybody in the receiver room can take. And then with Nate, just the way he studies, the way he takes notes, him off the field, just being able to prepare for the games is something that if you look at it from the outside in, it's like, when I watch him take notes, he watches film all the time. So just being able to see him do that makes me want to be better, do as much as I can, just like he's doing.
Does it feel like at any game, anyone on the team could have a game like Nate had against Minnesota? Targeted 21 times, 15 catches, go over 150. Does it feel like you all have that explosive capability right now?
Yeah, I feel like it could be anybody, any game. From the receiver room to the tight end room to the running backs. Like, the game against App State, we ran the ball for so many yards, and then this past game we threw the ball. So it just really happens to be any game. It can be anybody. We just have so many weapons on offense this year that I feel like it's hard to contain one primary, either throwing or pass, like throwing or running. It doesn't matter what we do. At the end of the day, someone's gonna
with
out
that,
there play great.
I'm sorry. With that, what did getting Nate back do for the room? What did it do for the way maybe you guys were covered a little bit differently, if at all?
Talking about the running game?
Well, with getting Nate back with the receivers, what did that do for your room? And did you sense that that Minnesota secondary was stressed a little bit more than maybe App's or South Carolina's was?
Nate brings that, that twitchy factor to the offense. So adding him back into the rotation was something that I feel like we needed. We needed that little spark. But we still got guys in the receiver room right now who are still great players. But just the way Nate played just showed that's why we brought him here. So he opened up a lot of things. And so let's say the team started double teaming Nate, you got a bunch of other receivers who start making plays of their own now.
JJ, when the deep post is called now, does that become your baby? Do you get excited when you hear that?
I really get excited during any play. Hopefully it comes to me. But with that post, that's something I really like and enjoy running as we run the post. So.
JJ, having the balanced offense that you all have, how much more difficult does that make a defense's job when it seems like you all really do just about anything anytime you line up on the screen?
It definitely makes it hard for the defense because you can't you can't drop 8 because then we're just going to run the ball down your throat. We put 7 people in the box, and now we're just going to air it out over your head. So it's definitely harder for teams to schematically prepare for our offense. And I feel like regardless of what you do, this offense is going to find ways to make explosive plays.
Do you feel like that's almost like what the next step for this offense was after last year being more versatile?
I feel like Coach Lindsey brought his own demeanor into the run game this season. So I feel like, yeah, we started to run the ball a little bit different than last year, but I feel like he and, Coach Clements and the rest of the running staff, our goal this year is to run the ball down your throat. And it seems like we've had that stigma of being, a soft team. But this year we wanted to show people that we were tough, a hard-nosed football team that wants to run the ball. So,
JJ, when you were talking, you mentioned, when you were talking about Nate's, what he brings as a factor, you said open things up. Is it almost sort of like in basketball, when you get, like a basketball team gets one of their better players back, and that does open it up, for other guys? Is that sort of what he brought when he was full go this past week? And could you notice, I don't know, being covered any different when he was out there going off like he was?
Yeah, definitely, because mainly towards the second half, you could see that the defense was starting to pour a lot more of their attention into Nate. So that opened up, the outside for me, Code, Gabo, and Andre. So it was really, like I said before, it opens up a lot of things on the outside because you got him in the slot, and then you can move Kobe from outside to inside. So, and then you put Nate outside too. So especially something that Coach Galloway makes us really learn is learn every position. So like Nate goes outside, I can go inside or whatever. So it opens up a lot of things just anywhere on the field.
Last year before the Georgia State game, Mac was talking about the team bringing its own energy because, you could tell there wasn't going to be a huge crowd there for that game. Is that sort of the message this week? It doesn't seem like it might be a huge crowd at Pitt Saturday night, but is that the message again, bringing in energy?
Yeah, for sure. First road game of the season. Always want to bring that energy. We want to be our crowd. We know not a lot of people are going to be there. So we know Pitt's a hard-nosed football team. We know that they're going to be rough. They're going to be, they're going to play hard. But at the end of the day, we need to play Carolina football. And that's who we are. We are a tough team. We're going to go out there and, play to our best and, get the job done.
Greg Spring is a good runner, obviously. You expect the ball from into the ball. From your perspective, you have a little bit of that get down when you see him running with it, or Mac talks about his competitiveness.
I love Drake. I love seeing him run. I love him being a hard-nosed runner, but, if he can get down, I need to tell him to get down. So. Yeah, we need, but, he's going out there and competing every day. He loves playing football, and you can tell, the plays he makes, like the one when he dove or in the past few games, you can tell that's how much he loves us. That's how much he loves the game of football. So I appreciate it. But yeah, he needs to get down.
JJ, you guys are 3-0. How good do you think you've been, and how much better do you think you can be? You're starting ACC play now, and it sort of takes it to a different level. These teams know each other, that type of thing. Where do you think you have been through 3 games, and where do you think you all can take this thing?
Like you just said, we're 3-0, but there's so much things that we can fix on the offense side of the ball. That's how scary it is. The potential of this offense, what we can do, I personally believe can be one of the top offenses in the country. There are so many things that we can still correct and still fix, yet we're still going out there scoring points and ending up with the W. So we're finishing games, but starting ACC play, it means so much more. Now there's no Coastal or Atlantic, so every game means that much more this season. And that's our main goal this year is to finish games. Last year it seemed like we didn't finish those games that we really needed, but now our emphasis is to go in there, finish the game, and show people that UNC is still on top.
Does Georgia Tech and NC State, like you're saying, the way last season finished in the ACC, does that still sort of leave a bad taste, or do you all still think about that in terms of a motivating type thing?
Somewhat. We try not to think of the past at all. We try to mainly focus on the upcoming games. Like right now, we're just focused on Pittsburgh. But it definitely leaves a sour taste in your mouth any game that you lose. But especially those 2 games, the way we played, the way how we did finish those games, we want to make sure that this year we go in and finish those the correct way.
JJ, after the game on Saturday, Mac was talking about how Tez Walker was, pretty involved in the sideline. He even said he's, coaching a little bit. Can you just kind of describe the presence that he obviously is going through his situation and everything like that? Can you describe the kind of presence that he's had among the team right now?
He's just such a motivator, and you can tell he's being a leader. And the way he's handling this situation is amazing. I don't know a lot of people that can handle this the way he is right now. Personally, I believe he's being screwed completely. But at the end of the day, he's going out there and he's still coaching up the young guys. He's helping me out. He's still watching film. He's still a part of the team. And when we see that, we know we're playing for a bigger purpose. So being able to see him out there and seeing him still in a good attitude and a good mood, like it really helps out motivate the rest of the team. And like I really enjoy seeing that. And I told him like I'm here for you, anything you need. So it's good to see him happy with a good attitude.
Did you see him coaching one day, just the way that he's been? I was going as a follow up. Did you see him coaching one day, just kind of the way that he's been approaching everything?
Yeah, definitely. Just the way he approaches the game of football, you can tell that he really enjoys the game and he knows a lot about it, and he just loves helping other people. And that's a big attribute that Tez can bring to the team.
What was his reaction to the chant? I mean, I saw him. He was waving the towel, for a little bit. Like, do you feel like that meant a lot to him? Obviously.
Definitely, because you can tell like we have our fan base is rallied behind Tez, and there's so many people outside of UNC that really are behind him, and we just want him to understand like we support him 100%. It's not just the football team. It's not just North Carolina. It's not just the East, Southeast. There's people on the West Coast, all over the world who support Tez and want to make sure that we understand his situation and like we're all behind him. So at the end of the day, I think it was a really nice chant, and I don't know. I think it was really good for great for his morale.
All right.
Great stuff.